We are live. Let me make sure my volume is up. So, hey, y'all, listen. I'm going to be talking about 3 shifts to make before you quit. But before I go in, and before I go in quickly, let me just make a disclaimer. So, I've been outside. I've been traveling. I just got back from Mexico 2 days ago. And now I'm having a sinus allergy attack. So, that's why I sound how I sound. I don't feel as bad as I sound. However, I don't feel the best. So, but I didn't want to let that stop me from sharing what I wanted and needed to share with you when it comes to these three things to shift before you quit, right? So if you happen to be here with me live, do me a favor and say hey so that I know that you're here while I fix my lips. If you happen to catch the replay, do me a favor and type replay in the comments so that I know that you're here. If you, let me see something. Let me change this setting. Bear with me. Pop out. That's not gonna work. Facebook is changing things, so trying to keep up, but I don't know if it's going to work. But we'll see. So if you're here with me live, do me a favor and say hey. If you're catching the replay, do me a favor and type replay so that I know that you came back. I can see the comments here now, so if anybody comments, type replay so that I know you came back and watched it. And if you know anybody who might need to hear this now in this moment, tag them. If you listen to this whole thing and somebody comes to mind that you think probably needs to hear it, share the wealth. Like I'm here for it. It's the gift that keeps on giving, right? If for some reason you happen to be watching this, excuse me, and you don't know who I am, I'm Danielle the Coach. I'm a certified life and leadership coach. I help millennial entrepreneurs, CEOs, and influencers balance the demands of life, leadership, and business. And in this season, I primarily am supporting millennial entrepreneurs that are still juggling a 9-to-5, right? They have the spirit of entrepreneurship in them, maybe dabbling in business, maybe running a business on the side in addition to their 9-to-5, but for whatever reason, and they know for a fact that they're not going to be retiring from the place that they are currently employed. They just, it's something in their spirit, it's something in their soul that they absolutely, positively, without a shadow of a doubt, know that they won't be retiring from there, but they just might not have either the blueprint, the exit strategy tailor-made for them, or the confidence, or maybe all of the above, right, to step out on faith, take the leap, and literally create the life of their wildest dreams. So that's what I do. That's who I do it for. And it excites me to no end when my clients make a decision to defy the status quo in pursuit of fulfillment, in pursuit of purpose, in pursuit of alignment with their purpose. It's amazing to witness and it's miraculous to watch. I'll just say that, right? So again, that's who I am. What I want to do is I also want to invite you to my shift experience, right? I have taken it off the shelf, out of the vault, however you want to word it. It's been away for several months, but in celebration of my birthday month, I decided to take it off the shelf or out of the vault and make it available to you at a special rate in celebration of my birthday. Like this work that I'm doing, this purpose work, I was born to do this in this season, and so I'm extending the olive branch. So typically the shift experience is $497. This go round, if you lock in by June 30th, you can get in for $84 with code DDAY22. That's DDAY, the number 2. And you can go to www.daniellethecoach.com /shift, SHIFT. to find more information, and also use code DDAY22 at checkout to save over $400 and get in for only $84. I'll drop the link in the comments when I finish sharing the 3 shifts, just so that you'll have it there. But I wanted to make sure you had it available to you now also. So when I think about the reason why I created the shift experience is because I reflected on my journey of, being a career professional, working for the government, making 6 figures, and recognizing that my job and my salary and the money had a chokehold on me, right? It afforded me an amazing lifestyle. I did what I wanted when I wanted to. I came and went as I pleased. However, there was still something that was missing for me. And when I really got clear with myself that I was unhappy, that I was unfulfilled, that my life was out of control, that I was not the captain of my own ship anymore. Like, I was literally like a leaf blowing in the wind, showing up in places and spaces that were no longer serving me. It wasn't until I got clear about that things started to shift in me, and I started to make decisions about how I was going to get myself out of the trenches, what I was willing to do differently, what I could even do differently, what my options were, right? At the time, I had over a decade of career professional experience in one particular agency, and even though it was one agency, I moved around quite a bit. So I had amassed a pretty varied skill set. So in that, I kind of developed analysis paralysis, because I was like, well, I'm good at this. I know how to do this. I like to do that. There's a bunch of different things. I have a lot of opportunity available to me, but I don't really know what I want to lean into. And what my fear was is that I would do something different in a matter of days, weeks, months, or even a year, right? 6 months to a year later, that I would be just as unfulfilled, right? Just as unhappy, because I only shifted my being, like my physical body, into a new space. I hadn't really tapped into what brings my heart joy, right? And leveraging my natural gifts, skills, and abilities, right? In service of other people. So, this time I wanted to be intentional. I didn't want to just settle for doing anything else. I didn't want to just sign up for the first thing or first opportunity that came my way. I needed to be intentional about what I did next, because that was super important to me. I knew that whatever I did next, I wanted it to be for the long haul. I knew that whatever I did next, I needed it to feed my soul, right? Because it was no longer just about the money. Money still mattered, and money still matters to this day. But I was no longer allowing myself to be a slave to money, showing up in places that were no longer serving me, just because it afforded me a solid lifestyle. I knew that there was more to life than what I was actually seeing, and I was willing to bet on myself and go and do something about it. So that being said, thinking about my personal experience, it's just like I created the shift experience because I understand the inner work, the inner game, and the transformation that must take place for my fellow go-getters to do the same thing, if not something similar to what I did, whether it's changing industries, right? Leaving over a decade or maybe close to 2 decades in a particular industry, right? You're certified, you got all the credentials, licenses, what have you, but it's not doing it for you anymore. And I want to let you know that it's okay. But what's not okay is that you sit in it and allow yourself to drown in the space that's no longer serving you. You can do something about it. You don't have to conform to the status quo. Who cares what people think? People are going to have an opinion regardless. So you might as well give them something let them have the opinion about the thing that brings your heart joy, right? And know what you want to do, that thing that you probably really haven't told anybody, because it defies the status quo, right? Because it's unorthodox, because it's unprecedented. The thing that you don't speak about, but that you dream about, that you suppress, or maybe you speak about in the most intimate spaces with your personal board of directors, right? That thing, you can do it. You can absolutely do it. Will it be easy? It may not. But the question is, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to take that with you to your grave? Or are you going to go out knowing that, hey, I don't have to wonder what if, because I pursued it I gave it a shot. I at least tried, right? And now I know what was on the other side of it. And maybe you get on the other side and you don't like it, but guess what? That's life. But if there's something wrestling in your spirit, something wrestling in your gut, something wrestling with your soul, that is, it may be keeping you up at night. It might not, because you might be dog tired. So when your head hits the pillow, you're out like a light. But it may be the thing that you daydream about when you're at your desk, whether you're working remotely or you're back in the office, right? It may be the thing that you think about that's distracting you from doing your 9 to 5, or from focusing on whatever is in front of you. Like, it's that thing or those things that you definitely want to like lean into, right? So my question is for you, like, what are you going to do about it? And so while you sit with that, I'm going to give you the 3 shifts so I can get out of here, because I feel my sinuses doing the thing. But they've been giving me grace. So I'm going to get in and I'm going to get out. So the first shift that you want to make is you want to expand your awareness of self. You know yourself, and you know yourself based on stories that you've been telling yourself, things that you've heard other people say about you. But I want to encourage you to dig a little bit deeper, right? How clear are you on what your superpower is? How clear are you on what your natural God-given gifts and talents are, right? Not just the subject matter expertise that you've amassed over time as a career professional, but what are your natural gifts? What are the things that you do exceptionally well that most other people do not, right? When's the last time you've done something with it? When's the last time you've used it or leveraged it? That's a question for you, right? Are you aware of what your blind spots are based on your personality, right? Based on how you show up. I always say that for every superpower that goes unharnessed can do more harm than it can do good, right? Just think about it. When you think about like the image of that, it's true. So is your superpower harnessed or is it unharnessed? Do you have any clue of what it is? Are you leveraging it? Are you leaning into that, right? Or are you tap dancing and showing up in the world like everybody else because you feel like you got to conform, right? As opposed to letting your light shine based on how you were uniquely and divinely designed. So the first shift is to expand your awareness of self. The second shift is to expand your awareness of aligned opportunities, right? So when you get clear on who you are, right, and you know what your natural gifts and skills are, and you lean into that, then it gives you an opportunity to kind of play in a space that is aligned with how you were divinely designed, and it's aligned in a way that it allows you to leverage your gifts with ease, right? Your gifts were made to do these types of things. Like, so what are these types of things? What are these aligned opportunities? The second shift is you got to expand your tolerance for calculated risk. You've got to expand your tolerance for calculated risk. And I think this one is pretty intuitive, right? So most people shy away from risk because they fear failure. It could be a money thing, all types of things, right? Most people like to play it safe. With the calling that's over your life and your life's purpose, right? It's time for you to do the dance. It's time for you to think about and assess the risk for what it really is, not just the hypotheticals, right? Write it down, lean into it, see what it looks like on paper. Like, what are the pros and the cons, right? And you may be thinking, well, what if I fail? Well, what if you fly, right? It's one thing to take a blind risk, right? But it's another thing to take a calculated risk. And that's where the game changes, when you take a calculated risk, right? Based on my calculations, it looks like I can do this in this amount of time, with this amount of money, with this skill set, for this particular audience, right? And be okay. This is what it looks like. So it doesn't seem like I'm jumping off the cliff with a blindfold on and no parachute. No, the calculated risk is you jumping off with a parachute. You're prepared. Now, do we know how it's going to end? No. And I'm just going to be honest with you, right? I'm not going to sugarcoat it. but you're a lot more adept and equipped when you position yourself to take a calculated risk as opposed to just a blind risk. Okay, so the 3 shifts again is expand your awareness of self, expand your awareness of aligned opportunities, and then to expand your tolerance for calculated risk. Okay, so I say all this to say I dive way deeper into this in the shift experience. So this is like literally, it's not even the tip of the iceberg. It's like just scratching the surface. But if this resonated with you and you're looking to identify ways to expand your awareness of self, right, and really get clear on who you are in this season, absent of stories that you've been telling yourself, absent of what your inner imposter has been telling you that you're not skilled at, that you're not capable of, that you could never do. If you're looking to expand your awareness of like how you can actually take the leap, how you can actually quit with confidence and without regret. If you're interested in looking into expanding your awareness on how you can lean into these aligned opportunities and what those aligned opportunities even are, the shift experience is for you. And if you're absolutely positively open to doing the work and increasing your tolerance for calculated risk, like the shift experience is a place where you can come and do some calculations, right? And I say that loosely, but it is you doing the work, right? Laying the foundation and energetically saying, hey, listen, this ain't it no more, right? It's not cutting it for me. I desire to do something differently, and I know that nobody's coming to save me. I got myself here. I've checked my box. I've very likely fulfilled my purpose assignment in this space, whatever that space is in that season. And it's time for me to get clear on what my next purpose assignment is, to align myself with it, to make sure I know how I'm showing up, what my gifts, my skills, and my lane is, and to take the calculated risk to position myself to do something about it. So this is all of, we go through all of these things. We cover a lot of this in the shift experience, and it's an intensive, right? You're not just coming and sitting back taking notes. No, we're doing work. Like, we're shifting things. Shift happens with Danielle the coach, and by design, that's what the shift experience is for. You, if you show up and you are attentive and you lean into it and you're honest and transparent with not me but yourself, listen, you will not leave the same way that you came. Okay, so again, I want to invite you to grab a virtual seat at the upcoming shift experience, a transformational intensive that's coming up on July 6th, 2022. It will be virtual via Zoom. The link will be put below this video, but you can go to www.daniellethecoach.com/shift. And until June 30th, you can use code DDAY22, DDAY22, and get in for $84 instead of $497. So you get to choose. If you don't get in by the 30th and you still want to come July 1st through 5th, you want to lock in before we get started, then you can absolutely get in, but it will be $497. Okay. So I just want to make sure you have the information that you need. I really know that there are some souls that need to be in the room, right? That you've been wrestling with this thing, trying to figure it out by yourself. And it's not necessary for you to figure it out by yourself. Like, I'm in alignment with my purpose, and I'm here to usher you through like your breakthrough. So as I always say, if you see any of my posts, your breakthrough awaits you, and I got you. Like, if you show up for yourself, I'm gonna meet you halfway. But you got to say yes to you first, and you have to take the first step. All right, if you know somebody that needs to be here, needs to hear this, that needs to sign up for the shift experience, or needs to just hear what I share here on this live, do me a favor and send this to them, okay? Share the wealth. Don't be stingy, okay? Share this. And bring a friend. If you want to bring a friend, y'all come together. I would love to have you. All right, y'all, I'm gone. I'm going to go rest my body, and hopefully my sinuses will be all clear by tomorrow. I'm going to drop the link for you, and I'll see you on July 6th.